What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you?
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does. From Natla Technologies. You know, creator of all things bright and beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Feast your eyes on this, Laura. How does that make your wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru, vast mountain ranges to cover, sheer walls of ice, rocky crags, savage winds, and there's this little trinket. An age-old artifact of mystical power is buried in the unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
Welcome back to the Brotherhood of Gaming. Now, to those that may concern, we here are going to be attempting to do a speed run of the original Tomb Raider on the PlayStation. This means glitches included. Exploitable flaws in the game's mechanics that were later fixed.
Oh.
Yeah, so for the sake of providing people with a storyline, I will be editing in the cutscenes later. That being said, you probably just got through seeing the intro, and that is the proper way to introduce your brand new protagonist. And boy, did it catch my attention. How about yours?
It did. It's a nice way to start the game. Try to present a kind of over-the-top action sequence to really highlight what this character is all about.
Yeah, I know you guys see me jumping all over the place, but that's the Tomb Raider equivalent for the rolling gag in The Legend of Zelda. At least it's less annoying.
Again, I want to point out so there's no misunderstanding of what you're watching. This is not a playthrough. This is a speed run. So, like I said, we'll be taking advantage of all the glitches in this game in order to get through it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so these glitches are completely possible and doable for technically anybody with enough time and patience and practice. Granted, this one right here, which I'm doing is you have to get to the corner and angle yourself just right and jump, because every time she jumps, she goes a little bit forward. And like that, when you go just far enough and hold the right trigger, she'll like kind of scroll through the fence right there. And there's another glitch that I'm coming up on right now where if I jump in between the crack and hit the wall just right, I should be able to teleport straight to the top, and it only works on flat surfaces. So let's see if I can do it right here. Yes, like that. Yeah, Tomb Raider 1 definitely had... I mean, for the first game, it's understandable that these sort of things happen. I mean, problems they didn't see coming. Like, granted, I'm sure they would patch it now if possible. But
yeah, nowadays it would just have an update, a patch, day one patch to fix all the glitches.
you know, they fixed some of these problems in later Tomb Raider games, like 2 minutes and 1 second, it's not bad. But like there's a real easy glitch you can do where if you're standing on like cracked surfaces and you press either the right trigger or the left trigger or heck even walk backwards, she instantly teleports to the bottom. So that was an easy fix and easy find.
One of the most effective attacks in Tomb Raider, the old Tomb Raider games, was the flipping backwards and shooting.
It kept them off of you, but it also kept you moving. Now, even though there are going to be a lot of exploitable glitches in this run, I will still have to do quite a majority of each level, so if you don't like... I don't know, it's hard to explain, like... Because when I read up on doing speedruns a long while back, I learned that glitches are highly mandatory because they're not technically qualified as cheating, since they're in-game flaws that you can exploit. And games are full of them. Like, there's never going to be that one perfect game that doesn't have glitches. Hell, even Tales of Eternia, the game that we know and love, has some pretty awesome glitches.
Feel free to comment on your opinion of this. I know we've had some people request to do something with the original Tomb Raider. This may not be what you expected, but just feel free to let us know. I mean, it does take a lot of skill, and I think, to exploit these situations using to your advantage.
I mean, if you're trying to make a speedrun out of it, sure, it's definitely not an easy feat. It definitely does require a lot of practice and knowing how the game mechanics work. But pulling the glitches off is not like an hour's experience where it's going to take you like a long period of time to figure them out. If you watch people do them, you can pretty much see how it's done. You just got to figure out how they do it. It's not like press a certain combination of buttons while hitting the wall directly. It's actually just kind of phasing through it.
You don't have to worry too much about the animals.
Not really early on. They just kind of gang up on you, but later on in the levels, you really gotta... You either gotta stock up on ammo or health kits.
If you hear any sound or like background sound during this, we'll try to eliminate it, but it's like 1,000 degrees outside, so we have a lot of fans going on.
Yeah, trust me, living in the...
Yeah, to really try to play a game with no air conditioner or no water and no fan, it's not fun. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pass out for your enjoyment.
As admirable as that would probably be to you guys, we do take our health to some considerable... Yeah.
But like I said, Will's come up with a technique, I think, to take away background noises, haven't you?
Yeah, it's kind of a noise removal, but you gotta mind it carefully, because if you don't do it right, you can end up taking out some of your talking too, which is kind of a nuisance.
Who wants to listen to us anyway?
That's why I usually leave the audio sort of thing up to Nate, because he does it better than me. So yeah, you've seen a couple of glitches, like me being able to run into that wall drive, but like I said, you got to be able to jump in the right angle, and it's actually a lot of fun to figure these glitches out. Not because the game's bad or anything, but just seeing that the primitive time when programming was flawed, and still is flawed majorly today, but it was fun to exploit and find these glitches that the programmers overlooked and just have fun with them. Like, come on, tell me it wasn't awesome having Reed Herschel and Tales of Eternia do the final attack that's supposed to belong to the final boss. But hey, if you guys want me to do a normal run and by normal I mean glitchless, that's fine. But I just figure, like, the glitches are fun to do. They really don't take that much away from the overall experience, because while you're doing these little glitches just to bypass little areas, they're really just that. You're not taking much away from it except just a couple of areas. So now we're on to level 3. See, regardless of what you saw in just that level 2, I still had to do a vast majority of it, even with that little glitch hop. Okay. Knowing the game definitely helps, and just to be able to play it properly. I mean, you're obviously not going to try glitches on a game you never played before. It's not like I'm going to just, like, say if I gave, like, Gene a copy of Sly Cooper and he looked up a couple of glitches on, like, YouTube and instantly tried to play the game just to try them out. I mean you want to know the game. You got to know how to play it, so...
Well, I don't know. Some people just want to play their games as fast as they can just to get them done and move to the next one.
Well, that's not me. I'm just doing this one because I could. Speedruns aren't something you can just easily
Unfortunately,
do.
this will not be no hit like his Mega Man one was.
Oh, if you can do Tomb Raider without getting hit, that'd be quite a feat. As far as I know, it's physically not possible. Because there are just some enemies that you're gonna... Actually, no, that's not true. If you're doing a no damage run, that's fine, but to do a combo of a no damage run with a speed run would be highly improbable. No damage run, sure. If you pack up the right gear and you know where the enemies are going to spawn and you know how to handle them, then sure. Maybe.
For anyone wondering, the reason why Laura doesn't have a ponytail in this game is because they couldn't animate it.
Yeah, in 1996, the technology wasn't that great yet, and...
So that's why
oh my god!
Oh, that was scary.
That dude waited for me. He knew I was coming out of that.
Well, that, of course, was a famous boss fight.
Yeah, they turned it into a boss.
It ranked number 2 on my personal best boss battle themes.
Oh, yeah. I was so busy getting scared by the thing, I didn't even notice it had a theme.
I'm still waiting for Will's top 10 boss battle themes, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I guess the Mega Man one just kind of came first. Yeah, so what we're doing right now is we're looking for all of the gears that you need to put into the wall. And I'm surrounded by a zoo of raptors.
Well, like I said, you really have to try to just avoid them. There may be some instances where you'll see enemies glitching in the wall. That just kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah, that's really out of your hands. Like, that's just... The enemies, their purpose is to try to ram into you.
You're really... The way the game was designed, the way the game was intended, that you're really supposed to kill these enemies before you, like, access doors. Then you wouldn't have that problem. But since this is a speedrun, it's a different type of animal.
But also, the enemies have multiple functions. Like, they're meant to... Like you saw earlier where that raptor got in my way when I was trying to climb. Mm-hmm. Like, they will do that. They will purposely put these things in your way so you cannot... So it's like the enemies have a job to do. See, like, they know where I'm gonna be. They know, oh my god. Look at all these skeletons of people that were here. You mean other people found this tomb? Yeah, guys, we're both really hot right now. It is... Jesus, I'm afraid to look at the... like, monitor is like 84, like, damn, wolf, that's 2. It's like, whoa. Put your AC on, guys, it's worth it.
Right now, it's 100 degrees.
What?
It's 100 degrees right now.
We're talking presently and outside or in here?
In the city of Fresno. In the city of Townsville.
In the city of Townsville, it's hot as fuck.
It's 100 degrees right now. Yep. Welcome to the days of summer.
Yeah, now you know why I hate summer. I love their movies, but god, frick, I hate the time. 100 degrees. Have we ever gotten that hot before?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
You hot weather don't mix.
No, not really. I'm fine. I'm just...
It'll be slightly cooler tomorrow.
I'm warm-blooded.
So this is the hottest day of the week.
Sheesh.
You know it's bad when you wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock and it's already 80 degrees.
You know it's bad when you wake up and you're sweating.
Yeah.
Like, that is a horrible feeling. Yeah, I know I'm talking all casually while I try to do this speedrun, but...
Well, Will's played this game like a billion times.
Oh, yeah. Gene and I have been diehard Tomb Raider fans since, like, the mid-90s.
Will longer than me. Or the Johnny Come Lately. But what else is what else is new?
Yeah, better. Well,
If you look the way-
you came in at the time that it was okay. That it was like you came in at the time where she looked like this.
You look the way she looks now.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But what I did right there when I jumped through the corner, if you do that the way I did it, you'll trigger the ending part of the level where the ceiling falls and the gate doesn't close to let you get the ski on. So, sorry for interrupting, but go on. No, go on, Gene. Come on.
You're coming to the end of it, so I'll just stay quiet for the next few minutes.
Okay, so if you trigger that, then coming out here, Larson will be there waiting for you to bust a cap in his behind. Granted, you don't fail to do so. This is hilarious how these characters just can go wailing on each other with bullets.
Well, you have my total attention now. I'm not quite sure if I've got yours, though. Hello?
I'll heel and hide you to a barn door yet.
Of course.
You and that driveling piece of the ski-on. You want to keep it so bad? I'll harness it right up your...
Wait. We're talking about the artifact here?
Damn straight we are. Right up.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This piece, you say. Where's the rest?
Miss Natla put Pierre DuPont on that trail.
And where is that?
Ha! You ain't fast enough for him.
So you think all this talking is just holding me up?
I don't know where his little jackrabbit frog legs are running him to. You'll have to ask Miss Natla.
Thank you. I will.
Relocated now to St. Francis's Folly, new temptations torment me. Rumour amongst
my fellow brothers is that entombed beneath our monastery is the body of Tirunken, one of the three legendary rulers of the lost continent Atlantis, and that with him lies his piece of the Atlantean Skion, a pendant divided and shared between the three rulers, which curbs tremendous powers. Powers beyond the Creator himself. My toes sweat at such possibilities, lying so close to my mortal self. Each night, I beat myself rid of these fantasies, but it is indeed a test.
Pierre, you litterbug.
An interesting fact is, as far as I remember, the creator of Lara Croft, or at least one of the creators of Lara Croft, didn't intend or want her to have any sequels.
Well, I was about to say that when the sequels came along and you had graphical improvements on the PlayStation, the graphical improvements were basically focused on her, and that's when she got really sexualized.
Oh, like how you can see,
Because
like,
that was kind of part of the selling factor. The bigger boobs, the more hourglass shape, the more kind of realistic features. It was during that time of the sequels of the first original ones where she really became sexualized. Whether that was a good thing or a bad thing is just kind of up to your own personal opinion.
Yeah, like I know some guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know some guys, and by some guys I mean one that really loathes Tomb Raider, and believes believe the games are based off movies, and doesn't like playing games where it uses sex to sell. And I'm just like, whatever, but you really missed out.
Well, it's kind of like when I recently did my memoirs about the PlayStation magazine, the swimsuit edition. Sex sells, and unfortunately, sexy women in video games are kind of gotta go hand in hand. It's a lot less prevalent, I think, nowadays. Nowadays, we try to get more realistic-looking women, like the way the 2013 game remodeled Laura, which was great. But you all are going to have games like Dead or Alive, and where you have a.
That is a weird thing. Like, Tomb Raider gets bashed horribly for the whole sexualized thing. What the hell? Nobody said anything about Dead or Alive.
I'm sure some people did. But it's just something that just kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah, guys, I just pulled another one right there. If you hover above the gate, you can seep right through it. And, yeah, basically, if you go back, you can see a wall of water that I just popped out of. So, it's just an interesting little quirk.
It's amazing how you kind of get the feeling that when they did Tomb Raider Anniversary, they had to use their imagination for a lot of these levels, because they just didn't have the graphical power. But there was one of the few exceptions with this was this level right here, which looks very similar to the Tomb Raider Anniversary rendition. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when they made Anniversary, they wanted to stay as faithful as possible. But of course, there were even some things that were in this one that
original PlayStation... Sorry to cut you off. The original PlayStation 2 game has one of the coolest features that I'm surprised that more games don't do. They actually have commentary. How you could do commentary. A lot of movies on DVD have commentary.
That was so cool.
Because, when you beat the game and you have the option to do the commentary on, it'll be like these flowing diamonds, and when Laura touches the diamonds, you hear the creators of the game talk about the level compared to the first one. It was so cool and really insightful. And I'm really surprised that more games don't do that.
I know. That is so weird. I don't know. Maybe because they don't want to put the time and effort into do it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would technically be cheaper to just add the commentaries as a like an ending bonus feature you can just check out rather than programming it into the game.
One of my favorite parts of that commentary was the first level, where I guess because they had one of the original creators of the game help on the remake, and he was explaining the level, and he said, "Okay, now in this level, we're gonna come across a village." And people are like, "This village?"
Oh yeah, yeah. If you guys ever recalled the name of the level, it's called like the city of Valacumba. So
right, my dream is after we beat the sequel of Tales of Eternia 2, then you can go through it with the commentary. Hi guys, this is Kevin Miller.
He mentions the Brotherhood of Gaming, like, I met this one guy here too. That'd be something. Like, who's the biggest Tales of Eternia man? He should be on this commentary. But
that was a very nice feature that the PS2.
I know. Like, I want to play that just to hear him.
Unfortunately, it didn't carry over when they did the HD updates.
What do you mean?
The Tomb Raider trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't have that option.
That's odd, considering that
but the PS2 version have it, and I have both games. So.
But then again, it's also odd that the PS3 Collector's Edition bullshit didn't come with Beneath the Ashes and... Yeah, but for those who don't know, Beneath the Ashes is the continuation of Underworld.
Watch out for the falling swords.
Oh yeah, they don't come out until I pick up the key, sadly. And the swords are very finicky, like they fall where they want. They do have a distinct pattern, but still, like they go at angles, and angles in these games were something that was just very tricky. Like
this is a whoa, that was lucky.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the sword from Super Mario RPG.
Oh, I didn't get that far. Okay, this part is a little awkward because I got to make this turn really quick, otherwise I will fall.
You won't hear too much commentary from me because I don't want to ruin this concentration.
Well, I don't mind, because the idea is that I do have to concentrate, so that's why you're here, to provide commentary when I'm not. Now, if you jump first here, you'll be able to reach the other side before the boulder comes. Otherwise, you just kind of take longer.
Is that blue shirt or green shirt?
I don't know. I thought it was blue. It looks blue. That's not green. Then again, I don't freaking know. It changes. Is it blue? Looks blue. But yeah, you're right. I didn't see it, honestly. Her sexual changes over the course of the games. I never saw it until recently.
If you look at this, and then if you look at Tomb Raider 4, you could tell. Because they always have those areas in Tomb Raider 4, they're like little pits that you go into it, but then you turn around and get a nice look at Laura's figure.
Chest.
The chest is bigger. It's a little more low cut.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed recently, but the thing is, I guess maybe it's just me. I never, ever, ever saw her as a sexual fantasy for me. Or anything of that nature. Like, oh my god, it's a female hot chick, I gotta play this. Never was that for me. I just thought it was so cool and so new that it was a woman kicking so much ass. Like, if you saw that intro where she do I have to describe how awesome that intro was? She's climbing in the middle of the snow on top of this, God knows how big of a fall that is, to unlock a door. The guy below all of a sudden gets like destroyed by these wolves, and during that cutscene you can hear him screaming and shrieking in death, and she's looking now. She pulls out a knife from her boot, cuts the rope, and does like this 360 turn in the air. Her poncho falls off. She pulls out these guns and starts blasting away. That was the coolest thing I saw.
It also however, it also demonstrated the fact that Lara Croft was definitely a product of the 90s. She was definitely a 90s type of hero, where she had the guns, she was just killing things willy-nilly. She was doing these acrobatic things and things like that. But personality-wise, she didn't really have that deep of a character, if you really stop to think about it.
Not that much.
It wasn't, but nowadays, they want characters that have more emotion, which is why I felt like Tomb Raider, the new one, was more of an emotional game.
Yeah.
Than this one was.
I mean,
like I say, it's just a different product at times.
I mean, bear in mind, like, Lara Croft, as you got to know her as the games went on, her personality did say that the freezing times that you see, guys, my disc is so maxed out that I have to manually put in the cutscenes.
Buy a new copy on the PlayStation.
I know. But yeah, my copy is so maxed out that I have to manually enter the cutscenes because the audio is completely mute during them. That, and sometimes the game will do those spontaneous freezes and frame pops that it's something like, it always happens like when an event happens, either the beginning of the level or when something big is coming. I don't know why. I guess it's just gotten scratched up over the years. I played it so many freaking times. But, what was I saying?
Laura's personality.
Oh, yeah. As the games went on, they did develop more of a character for her. Like, you got down that she was serious. She, like, even at the beginning of this game, she refused the offer right away when Natla offered her, like, money to find this, and she's like, no, I don't take money for doing this. I do it
That's
for...
Pierre.
Yeah. You can fight Pierre, although I don't recommend it because, A, you're wasting your time, because he's not going to die. He's only going to do a Batman and disappear just to come back later. He's just there to be a nuisance.
And he does it well.
Yeah, I know. There have been many times as a kid where I've literally tried to catch him as he goes around the corner. Because that's how he does his disappearing thing. He'll get him low. You'll get him low. He'll run around the corner. You'll chase him, and instantly he disappears, and it'll be off camera, and you didn't see it happen. And I've always been trying to catch that. Like, I'm like, no, you're not getting away. I'm catching your ass. And then he just vanishes, and I'm like, fuck! Yeah, so you just learn to avoid him. He doesn't do that much damage, and well, if you outrun him, you won't have to worry about him. Oh, and I probably should mention, you guys probably just saw me jump through, I'm sure you did, how I jumped through the crack of those cube blocks. All of the Tomb Raider games kept that. Or at least the first 5 did. It's not a hard glitch to do, and it's not hard to believe either. The Colosseum. Can I get to the other side without any conflict? Oh, of course not. Out of my way!
Talk a little bit about the horror aspect of this game.
Oh, yeah. Not so much with me, but I definitely did understand the gravity of how this game got frightening to some people whom I've met and have had a history with Tomb Raider. Was this game, as it goes on, can get spooky and scary. And I think even if you play Tomb Raider 3, like, you can see, like, hell. Welcome back to the Brotherhood of Gaming. Because as later on, as you're gonna...
Dragon.
Oh yeah, the dragon, and not just him, but like his levels really got freaky. Because I think what adds to the fear is that, not so much that you're a woman, I mean, you can be anybody, but you're isolated in a god knows what environment, and you never know what's coming around the corner, and plus the spooky sound effects, like, they really tried hard to make really good composition music for these games, and it worked expertly well. You'll probably find comments on YouTube where people are listening to the music and claiming that they will never put any more time and care into soundtracks as they did back then. To some degree, that might be true, because back then they were making a fantasy sort of adventure.
There's another glitch.
Oh yeah, it's the same kind of box jump through the cracks. Yeah, all you have to do is just make her line up to the corner like this, and jump forward, and that's it. That's all it takes.
Kind of broken game.
Well, back then, no game was perfect. And I think what makes these fun to do is back then we didn't have patches. We didn't have, like, DLC that we could use to fix these sort of things.
If they did a Tomb Raider first-person shooter, would you get it?
I don't know.
It's Tomb Raider.
Well, I guess. I wouldn't like the idea, but I guess since it's there.
So here's another example of a glitch. It just kind of comes with the change.
Yeah, they're just there. Cool thing is, enemies don't trigger unless you enter the right area properly. So yeah, there will be times when I'm doing something that I am not supposed to be scripturally supposed to do, and then enemies will just be stuck in limbo. So, Gene, do you have any more on your mind on your Tomb Raider history? Might as well get it all out now. This is like a podcast, sort of. Like, explain your history with Tomb Raider 4.
Well, my history with Tomb Raider is pretty much discussed multiple times. Yeah, but I came into Tomb Raider 4, and it's kind of funny that my first Tomb Raider game was the one that Lara Croft died at the end.
Allegedly.
Then I went backwards to play Tomb Raider 3. That was an experience. I'm still waiting for Will to do a speedrun of Tomb Raider 3. That really would be impressive. Yeah, it's kind of right there. There it is. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've never beaten this game. Never beaten the first Tomb Raider.
Have you beaten 2?
I haven't really beaten 2 either.
Have you beaten 2, or have you seen me beat 2?
I've watched you beat 2. I've watched you beat 1. I myself have never played it. The 2 least played Tomb Raider games for me was the first 2. Yeah, so my history with Tomb Raider is a little backwards. But yeah, for me, I only got to like the first level. I played the rest of them.
I guess Anniversary counts.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6.
And this is what I was
Legend,
yeah.
Anniversary, Underworld, Guardian of Light, and the 2013 reboot, but I've never actually beaten the first two games. I've barely played the first two games, but the games were very challenging.
Oh yeah, and Tomb Raider is notoriously
when you're
difficult.
not, doing the glitches, but if you're just trying to play without the glitches, yeah, it can get pretty difficult. I feel kind of bad because Will wanted to do a live stream of Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, and I kind of flipped on him. I came home and I saw he was doing his playthrough, and I felt a little upset because I just felt like that's my game. I felt like, really? You're going to do a full-on live stream of Tomb Raider: Last Revelation and not even invite me to it? Like I said, what if I never came home and found out about it? And he did a full Last Revelation playthrough. I felt, well, there's no need for me to do it now, which is why I got a little. I really got more angrier than I really should have.
In my defense, it was the Dreamcast version, and I was...
Well, it's still the same game.
Well, I was playing it because there are some minor differences, like graphical enhancements.
Yeah, but still, basically it's the same thing. There's another... Yeah, I call that the Iron Man... the Iron Man glitch, where she has rocket boots in her boots. I mean, this is a speedrun, ladies and gentlemen. This is different rules in the playthrough. This is a speedrun, so just keep that in mind. Dead alligator. Yeah, I really got angrier than I really should have. Turn out the boys. I really got angrier than I really should have. I kind of felt like,
Hey, 2 down with 1 shot. I mean, two down easily.
I don't know. There's a couple of, I call them sacred cows, certain games that...
Well, is there any other sacred cow aside from Tomb Raider 4 that I shouldn't do?
Well, no. I would put it equivalent of me trying to do Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll never touch a Kingdom Hearts video game. Let me tell you, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a fantastic game, but I'll never do a playthrough of it because I know that's Will's game. That's kind of Will's baby, and I will not touch the Kingdom Hearts series because...
There are some people that have complained that Kingdom Hearts 2 was poorly paced in the story, and they explained it to me.
Because of the horrible beginning. The beginning was kind of terrible. Well, the fact is, you get so attached to Sora, and then all of a sudden, for no real explanation, you're playing as this other dude. Now, it's okay later on when you find out the story, but yeah, that first time you play it, it is kind of a grind.
Like, it wasn't even that part that people really complained about. It was...
Iron Brand.
Yeah, it was like the part when you do like the 1,000 Heartless challenge, and then not so much the challenge, but the story that was going on at the time, like how everything was rushing, and then...
It was just bowling right through this game.
Yeah, and then Goofy supposedly dies for that scene, and then comes back like 2 scenes later. Then after Maleficent saves them, and they're suddenly back on the gummy ship, they have a flashback to the scene that just happened like 1 scene ago, and like some people were like, that's oddly paced, and I didn't mind it, but I'm just like, okay, well, I can definitely see how you think that is...
Yeah, well, like I said, that... As much as I love Kingdom Hearts 2, I will never touch it because I know Will would want to someday do something special with it because I know that, well, the series is very important to Will. And, oh, wow, that was close.
Oh, don't want to, you don't want to get on that hand. I'm just going to tell you.
Hand where...
The hand of Midas.
Yeah, if she touches it...
If you know your mythology...
One nice costume, though, in Tomb Raider Anniversary is that you can actually run around as the golden Laura.
Yeah, clank, 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 clank.
That's actually kind of funny.
Gold-plated Laura.
What's she doing?
Oh, I'm putting the stones on the hand.
She looked like she was doing something else. But anyway.
Stroking Superman's
No, I don't want to go there. But yeah, I'll never ever touch Kingdom Hearts 2 because I know Will want to do something. He'll probably do something with the final mixed version or something like that.
Like, if you want to play them, I'm fine. Just...
I'll play them, but I'll never record them because I know Will would want to.
Well, I wouldn't have any real problem with it. Like, if you acknowledge that it's your run, then I'm fine with it.
Well, that's the kind of thing about this Brotherhood of Gaming is that
if you want to do your own run, that's fine.
If we do one game, it's done. The other one wants to do it, well, that's just tough kittens. I mean,
not really. If you want to do Mega Man 1, I'm not stopping you.
Well, it's I kind of look at the Legend of Zelda 2 playthrough. We posted that in bits and pieces. Then we posted it again as a long walkthrough, but then it got a lot of dislikes. So I guess it's just people trying to tell us that they don't like us to go over the same ground twice. So if Will did a playthrough of Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, well, I can't touch it because it's already been done, and well, that's just the end of that. So that's why I got a little.
Oh shoot! I'm not gonna risk it.
Monkey is pinning you up against the wall. That's kind of bad.
God, I've got the whole zoo on me.
Well, that's kind of the thing when you try to do a speed run. You have to not
pick your fights.
You can't really fight. You just gotta go through as fast as you can.
You can, but like for example, ow.
Banged your head. I thought that was funny.
But like sometimes fighting, you can get all the enemies out of your way and be able to progress no problem. But I guess sometimes you can, if you are really good at avoiding, you can just bypass them altogether. But the thing about the enemies in Tomb Raider is that they're not going to leave you alone. They're going to chase you throughout the entire thing. Because animals do that.
Tomb Raider: Last Revelation was the first 3D video game I ever played.
That was your first game?
Yeah, it was the first 3D game I ever played, where 3D rendered graphics. It really was the first time. Which is why Last Revelation is really important to me. Which is why I...
We'll do a speed run. Good luck. That game is hard.
That's why I kind of got angrier than I really should have, and I kind of ruined Will's night because then he tried to do something else, and it just kind of fell apart. So
I didn't mind that much. Like, I wasn't playing Tomb Raider 4 to do a whole playthrough. I was just playing it because...
I was wondering what possessed you to do it.
Because I had the Dreamcast version, I'm like, hey, that's different. Might as well just live stream it for the sake of me being bored, and I want to entertain people, and I just thought it was interesting, but I think what ultimately stopped me is I did something wrong in the game, and I couldn't progress. I forgot what it was.
That is definitely a... Oh, wow. That's... Oh, homeboy again. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, see, he gets around. I don't know how.
He's got those... he's Nightcrawler. He can teleport. He can teleport all over the place.
Yeah. Speaking of teleport, here's an interesting one. If you dive in the right... Yes. If you dive in the right area... Yeah, right there. Then, yeah, again, teleportation.
I have bad dreams about big rats, I guess. It's a gopher.
Well, I don't know why anything and every animal... Oh, wait, of course I do. They're inside these catacombs for God knows how long. What else are they going to eat? Each other.
So, yeah. There you go. Tomb Raider: Last Revelation. That's definitely what we call a strategy guide kind of game.
Yeah, ironic or hella funny that you would start out doing the two hardest Tomb Raider games.
They were hard, but I really felt accomplished at the end of it. So there you go. I don't have more to say about that.
Ready? Right now we're just traveling along the... I think this is the cistern. Get away from me, you crocs or alligators or whatever you be. So what did you think about Lara Croft's changes in voice actors over the years? Like, there's the first voice actor, which only did this game, and then her second voice actress, which went on to do Tomb Raider 2 and 3. And then you had the voice actress that went on to do 4, 5, and 6.
When I think of the original series, I think of the voice actress for 4, 5, and 6, because that was the first ones I had. I kind of preferred the one from 2 and 3 because it sounds a little sexier, a little deeper. Nothing that taxing.
Are you alright?
You alright? Yeah, just very kind of deep, very kind of sensual. La.
I don't know. It's kind of a tie between. Like, I like them all, truthfully, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I guess I'd also be on board with 2 and 3. I wonder if I can get any of these voice actors.
I don't know.
Oh, and of course, who can forget all the models that IDOS every year had to get to represent Lara.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the thing. Lara was definitely a full-grown woman because in the game she's supposed to be in her like mid-30s. Yeah, in these Tomb Raider games she's supposed to be like in her. Well, at least in the later on she's supposed to be like probably younger, like in her 20s for the first two, but later on she was categorized as being in her mid-30s. So she was a mature woman. She wasn't a kid running around.
I like that because, of course, I have problems with storylines where kids can save the world and adults can't. So.
Yeah, she was definitely an adult. That scream, which is always the same scream, no matter what the voice actress is.
That is true. I wonder if the same actress got paid for doing that. But
now here's one of the tricky parts of a Tomb Raider is the water, because when you're swimming, you're running out of breath.
In Tomb Raider 1, she swam a lot faster. I guess because she couldn't do like that roll.
Oh, the roll isn't in this game, huh?
Not when you're underwater, no. Do you know that Lara Croft is so popular to this day that in London she has a street named after her?
Really?
Just recently, apparently.
I can see that. Let's see, street I live on being renamed Brotherhood of Gaming Lane.
Lara Croft Avenue. It's pretty awesome.
Wilmore Street.
Martin Luther King. But you don't want to be on that
Don't
street.
be on MLK, man. Yeah, dude, there's always some violence going down. Yeah, unfortunately.
More swimming. Oh, Tomb Raider. Oh, yeah. When I first heard that there was a movie coming out, that was something.
You talking about the original with Jolie?
Yeah, the first one. Because my parents definitely knew how big of a Tomb Raider fanatic that I was. Because, like, of course, they were the ones that had to buy it for me at the time. But, yeah, they knew I was all about Lara Croft. She was so spanking whatever. Like, they would watch me play the games and embarrassing. But then apparently one day they were watching TV and they saw, I think, it was like an interview or like a real brief teaser for the Tomb Raider movie that we had no idea was existing or even being made. Yeah, guys, what you just saw there was a trick jump. You got to be careful with those. And they screamed my name while I was in another room, and they're like, "Quick, come out here!" And I was just kind of reluctant, like, "What's going on?" And then they're like, the Tomb Raider movie is on TV. And I'm like, like, I ran faster than the Roadrunner, the Flash, and Sonic combined. I was just like, what? And I missed it. I missed the trailer. But I'm like, there's a Tomb Raider movie? And yeah, then eventually, like, I saw like a teaser for it when they showed it to me again. I saw Angelina Jolie doing all these backflips and stuff, and I'm like, that looks so cool. We gotta go see that. And
well, interesting you say, because of the reboot. Well, they're making a new Tomb Raider movie.
I'm down.
And the new Tomb Raider movie is going to be based on the reboot. And one of the actresses they have in the role, or at least in the front running for role, is an actress named Bonnie Wright. Who was in the Harry Potter series.
I don't know who that is.
She played the role of Ginny Wesley.
Oh, no. Oh, well, no.
Well, I don't know. I'd give him a chance.
Jenny.
Well, I don't know. I'd give him a chance.
Watch Harry Potter, and you'll probably disagree.
No, I mean, come on.
Jenny Weasley?
I'm sure a lot of people are saying the same thing with Henry Cavill playing Superman.
I didn't see anything else he was in, so I don't have any merit.
You know, it's just the thing is like, you know, give him a chance. I know a lot of people say, oh, because he did this role. Who knows? Maybe she'll transform herself, and maybe she'll Maybe she'll surprise you.
I'm more concerned, like, isn't she? I'm more concerned, like, isn't she a little young?
She's 22, which is actually the perfect age for. Because remember, this is based on the new reboot. In the new reboot, she's a woman in her young 20s, so she has the right age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, if she's a good actress, you know, it's got to be more than just physical looks. I mean, if she's a good actress, if she can change, if she can transform herself into the
hell,
role,
if Jim Carrey can, if she can pull a Jim Carrey,
yeah. So sure, I give her a chance.
Like, sure, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, we'll see.
Right.
But I'd like to see who else they got running up for the role. So yes, guys, I like the first Tomb Raider movie. It's definitely one of the good video game movies that exists. Mm-hmm. Is it a masterpiece? To some, it might. To some, it might be.
Yeah. No matter how, Laura will always be strong enough to push those blocks around.
Do I like Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life? No. There were a couple of one-liners in them, though, that I did find humorous. Oh, do shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Cradle of Life, she was really out of character. And I think Angelina really stopped caring. Truthfully.
This is the paycheck to her. What do you think? That's what you think?
As far as I heard, she really didn't care for reprising the role.
Anyway. Graphics are nice for a PlayStation, early PlayStation game. Can't really complain about it too much.
Nope.
I mean, it's just part of that time period. You know, there's a lot of young people today who probably won't look back at this and call these graphics ugly or not appealing, but my belief always is you have to learn to crawl before you can walk. And you have to learn to walk before you can run.
In a lot of ways, I think
these are... You have to learn to run before you run right into a wall, which is what the next council is going to do.
Yeah. I think a lot of time these games are more artistic than the newer ones because of their limitations.
There's a lot more atmosphere in these games. Because the things that scare you the most are the things that you can't see.
And believe it or not, polygons can be more scary than realistic images.
Like I said, when you climbed out the water earlier and the T-Rex was right there, I mean, that was a very scary moment. And we're coming to the end of this level here.
And here we got Pierre.
A little late for the prize giving, no? Still, it is the taking part which counts.
I always like those little quotes that they say before the fight. And if I'm not careful, he's gonna... Run, bitch, run!
Bitch is down.
Okay, I took his guns, I took his ski-on piece, and I took the key. Alright, so after I go through the last door, which will be down there, we will be done with the grease levels. Thank God.
Here lies Tehokan, one of the two just rulers of Atlantis, who even after the curse of the continent had tried to keep rule here in these barren other lands. He died without child, and his knowledge has no heritage. Look over us kindly, Tehokan.
Okay, so assuming you guys saw the cutscene, which I'll add in. Ironically enough, a lot of people thought that the storyline in this game was very, very vague. Truth be told, for quite a few years, I had no idea what the hell was going on. Like, it wasn't until Anniversary came out that it really kind of cleared things up. Like, sure, if you pay attention and you really do read in between the lines and pay attention very closely to what these characters are saying, you will ultimately figure it out. But I don't know. Like, a lot of people really had a hard time following it, and I sure as hell did too when I first played it. But yeah, it's definitely easy to see. Now, one thing I mentioned to Gene a long while back was how underwhelming I thought Underworld was because Anniversary happened.
I'm a little more lenient on Underworld than you are.
Like, I mean underwhelming because of...
I actually really like Underworld.
I like Underworld too, but what I'm trying to say is how underwhelming it was because Tomb Raider Anniversary was made. Because in Underworld, it was a prime event that we got to see Jacqueline and Natla again after all these years. And for me, that would have been a real iconic moment for Tomb Raider had Tomb Raider Anniversary hadn't come out just the year before it when we saw her. So I thought if they had waited on creating Tomb Raider Anniversary just until after Tomb Raider Underworld happened, that for me would have been better. Because it would have brought back all of the memories of seeing Jacqueline Natla in this game and finally seeing what she looks like in the PS3. Out of nowhere would have been really something special. Like, oh shit, this is a villain from long ago. It's the first villain when she's here, and being that we just saw her in the PlayStation 2 remake, I was just like, oh, well, she's here.
Well, I guess I just, once again, this is something we've kind of discussed before, but again, it just kind of shows that, yeah, for Will, it would have been... Yeah, for Will, it would have been a huge moment. But for me, I'd be like, who's that?
That's why I said...
I have no connection to the character.
Yeah, that's why I said if they had waited on Anniversary just after, that way people could play if they didn't want to do the original.
I don't know. Well, I think... I understand where Will's coming from, but it would have, to me, would have lessened the impact for Underworld, because if... Being someone who didn't play the first Tomb Raider game... Is everything alright?
Yeah, just making sure you're heard.
They can hear me. The camera has a microphone on.
Oh, no, just...
What?
Oh, no, I'm just making sure, because they can hear the game, too, probably.
Well, we'll do some tricks. Anyway, like I said, I never played the first game, so it would lessen the impact. If Anniversary never happened, if we go straight from there to Underworld, while I'm playing Underworld, then I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm going after Amanda. Yeah, she is the reason why Laura's mom went into that other dimension. Laura said, next time I see you, I'm going to kill your ass. And the bitches down. But then all of a sudden, all right, there's this chick with wings in a glass case. Who's that?
Am I
supposed to care? Why? I don't know who she is.
Yeah, then you'd have came to me, and then I'd have told you, and you'd have been like, what? And then I'd have gave you my first game so you could play it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but still, that's outside stuff. I mean, talking about in the context of the Underworld game.
Yeah, but itself. I know where you're coming from too. But it's like one of those scenarios where you can't win either way.
And also, I would not have known why there's an evil Laura Croft. Where does she come from? Why is she here? I mean, it was a generally awesome experience when the doppelganger showed up, and I'm like, oh shit, they brought back the doppelganger from Tomb Raider Anniversary.
Yeah, not only did they bring back Bacon Laura, but they improved.
She is one of my favorite video games. If I do a video game villains top 10, sorry about that, this is graphical error. She'd definitely be on that list. Well, you already did yours. Shoot, I guess I can't do mine now.
Well, hey, man, I'm doing the top 10 boss scenes. You already did it.
Yeah, but I love the doppelganger. She is so awesome. I mean, any villain that could just easily kick the living hell out of Lara Croft and just make it look easy. It's just it's tops in my book.
Is it really okay to say that she's a villain? She's created by a villain, but
I'd say she's a villain.
But she really only follows the orders of whomever.
Well, she did evil things. She killed her friend. That makes her a villain in my book, and a more devastating villain.
Curious, where the hell did she go after Underworld?
I don't know. I guess it's something I'll never really know.
Yeah, because now we can't have 2 Lara Crofts running around.
I had an idea. This is me going on. Yeah, I know. Oh, this is me going nuts. You know how in Star Trek, they reboot the series by going.
Because
What if they did that in Tomb Raider? Maybe that way we can explain how the 2013 game is in canon with this one. Maybe some villain that Laura had went back in time and changed something and reset the timeline. Maybe Nero went back and killed her parents or something.
Speaking of reboots and stuff,
Lara Croft was a great woman. That was another lifetime.
Yeah, speaking of physics, boom. Yeah, but speaking of the reboots and stuff, the creators, Eidos, Tomb Raider, Core, or Crystal Dynamics, whoever the hell's working on Tomb Raider, they're very vague on what's a reboot or not. They never flat out say it. I mean, I'm not against the idea of it being a reboot, but they never say it. We just have to assume that they are.
We have the first series of Tomb Raider games, which include, which basically is 1 through 6. Tomb Raider Original, Tomb Raider Classic to Angel of Darkness. Now, can you make the case that Legend, Anniversary, or Legend and Underworld take place in the same universe?
First, tell me your reasons as to why not.
Subtle differences.
Like...
In the first series game, Lara Croft was very much a solo adventurous. In Underworld, and Legend, she has a team working with her. You have Zip, her mechanic, and Alistair, her history guy, and along with her butler. Laura in these games are very much a one single person.
What about
also Zip? Go ahead.
What about Zip in Tomb Raider Chronicles?
That seemed like 2 different characters. I mean, I guess you could possibly say.
I mean, they look the same. They talk the same.
I guess you can.
These guys are scary. Look at their posture and look at their breathing. They're as tall as Slender Man. They look like bacon demons, and they have that creepy ass moan.
I guess you could make the case. You kind of have to fill in the blanks. I guess you could say it is possible it's in the same timeline because you had classic Tomb Raider,
and then they based the movies off of this series, and then the newer games took the house from that movie.
All right. I'm gonna try to. Well, the movies don't count. The movies are the movies.
I'm not saying that the movies are canon. I'm just saying that they borrowed from the movie.
Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 3. You had The Last Revelation, nice glitch, where she apparently died.
Tomb Raider 6 proved that was bullshit.
Yeah, you had the Chronicles,
which was a recap of her past adventures.
Right.
Yeah, because the whole event with Zip in Chronicles takes place before Revelations. And because
back then to Revelations, then you have Angel of Darkness where she's framed for murder. Then we get a ending to that story that we never had. Somehow she cleared her name because the ending of that Angel of Darkness was really open booked.
It really had open books, so you could say anything happened.
So
after
apparently, maybe somehow she cleared her name. And then years later, the events of Tomb Raider Legend takes place.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Yeah, because here's how you can say Tomb Raider 6 helps out Lara in the end because it's unclear whether Curtis Trent really died or not, which I don't think he did because the dude that was the Nephilim had the power to shapeshift into anybody he wanted.
I believe Curtis did die.
He did?
I believe he did. Go ahead.
Like I'm not sure if he did or not because I think he was he was supposed to be part of the story that was supposed to carry on.
Okay. Well, maybe he comes back and then he dies. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but the point I'm making is that he worked for the church. So he probably used his high-class abilities to clear her name by proving that Eckhard and the other dude, whose names escape me, was part of the Nephilim race and to bring back a demonic entity that was killed by the flood aeons ago.
So... the unmade Tomb Raider sequel to Angel of Darkness resolved that story, we'll say. And then years later... Well, no, here's another problem. Here's another problem. And why the Legend and Underworld can't be in the same...
Legend and Underworld?
It's the beginning of Legend where the mother and Laura and her mother crash in that plane.
So?
Where does Werner von Croy fit into that? Well, I guess you could
being her trainer,
say that Laura mother died. Laura then
because in no history was it ever explained how she learned how to be a Tomb Raider.
And
I mean, you can
then Verna. Okay, I guess you can.
I mean, yeah, you can argue that her father was a researcher.
Shit, man. Like I said, it is kind of the butlers from the first Tomb Raider games and the second one are pretty different.
Okay, looks aside.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Winston did look like he was about to croak at any time, but really? Is the butler kind of your best defense?
Yeah, I know. Then Legend, the events of Legend. So she clears her name, then years later, then you have the events of Legend.
I mean, yeah, because if you think about it, after all the bullshit that she went through in these 5 or 6 games, don't you think it'd be wise for her to have a team to go to for backup in worst-case scenario?
I also think it also might be a case that she's getting older.
Yeah, like for worst-case scenario, she's got them for backup.
Right, and when you do get older, you kind of do need a little more help than you did before.
Yeah, again, guys, I'm not against the idea of being a reboot. It's just that the companies never actually say it. Right. Not even on Wikipedia do they ever say that it's a reboot.
I'll have to look that up now. But yeah, I mean, it's the way you did your Mega Man thing. I guess you could say that there is a way to say that the first 6 Tomb Raider games and Legend and Underworld take place in the same continuity.
I mean, if it's not, that's fine, but it does give you something to think about.
Right.
I mean, and Wikipedia, public edited, you can hardly trust it as it is.
Yeah, and then at the end of Tomb Raider Underworld, to get her revenge, Amanda reset the timeline. Now we have the Tomb Raider reboot, which is a different timeline than the other games. Now that'd be cool.
Now call me crazy. Even that's a stretch because even they didn't call it a reboot. They call it an origin story.
There is no way that the 2013 game is the same continuity as this one. That is a really hard shred. I actually like my idea of resetting the timeline.
It's a hard shred, but they didn't say it either. Or if they did, I didn't catch it, but I have never, I don't see the words reboot. I see origin story. Everybody else said reboot. Fans said reboot.
I don't know.
Is it? Maybe. Probably.
I will be with you, Will, to fit Legend and Underworld into the timeline with the first 6 games.
The reason why I'm willing to...
But I jump off the ship if you try to say that Tomb Raider 13 is also in the same timeline as this.
I'm holding my judgments for that one. It could or it could not. But another factor that supports Underworld and those ones being part of the same one is that they practically remade scene for scene Tomb Raider 1 with Anniversary with that same Lara.
Well, I'm trying to look at... Alright, well, in the original, in the original games, Lara Croft was born in 1968. So...
Well, of course you want to make you want to make it a product of the times.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, alright, so right now, she would be 45 years old.
Okay, so 45, she's still young and good looking, but of course having a little help is not bad.
I think they're different continuities.
I reserve judgment. Just because there is really not too much to support otherwise. I mean, yeah, you could easily argue that it could be just because graphical enhancements and story, scripting, whatever. But there's nothing to say that it can't be. And that's where my options open. Like, unless it's...
I know we're gonna get tons of comments on this shit.
I know, but... and it doesn't matter, guys. If you guys don't think so, that's fine. It probably isn't. This is just me thinking it could be possible just because they didn't say that it wasn't. And they don't have anything in them to specify that it can't be.
Oh, so according to Eidos, Lara Croft and I have the same birthday.
Oh, lucky you.
Valentine's Day. Oh, that's awesome. In 1968, on February 14th, Lara Croft was born in Wimbledon, London.
Ah.
1968. Chris Trent. Rolls and Swiss Fishing. Marco Bartoli. 1997. 1996, hired by Jacqueline Natla. 98, 99, travels to Egypt in search of the Mount of Horus. Lara goes missing in Egypt, presumed dead in 2000. Lara Croft and her friend Sarah Pazzini research the disappearance of an elderly couple in New York Cemetery. Oh, that's right. Lara Croft,
yeah, the game of games.
Yeah, Lara Croft is canon with Witchblade. Well, I probably doesn't know what I'm talking. There's a
fuck ever.
Yeah, yeah. There's no common Witchblade.
Really?
Yeah, never mind. Former call.
I guess the same way Superman is canon with I Love Lucy.
This is actually saying. Hold on. In 2003, following the call from reform mentor Yvonne von Croy, she travels to Paris. She is framed for his murder, then sets out to find the obscure pain, stop Eckhart from the night-ring Nephilim. In 2006, after being tipped off by a friend, Laura discovers a stone dais, something she had seen before, when her mother disappeared in Nepal. So this one is actually making the case that, yeah, the legend and underworld is in canon with these games.
See?
Wow.
Told you.
Let me see. Well, let me go back a little bit here. So does it show in Laura's... let me see here.
See, the only thing that really changed in Tomb Raider that made people forcefully believe that it was a reboot was just the graphical enhancements.
1985, on 15th,
like
Lord
to
Richard
shoot
Croft
you
went
to
missing.
hell.
It is revealed later that Natla killed him. Let's see, going backwards.
You just pulled the tough end of a wishbone. Howdy.
Afternoon,
Left Larson sucking wind then, eh?
if that is the phrase.
Well, your little vacation riot's over now. Time to give back what you've hijacked off me.
Let's try the lunchbox.
Well, kill her! You morons! Let's go.
What the heck was that? What? That a one? Probably just a fish. That'd be some fish, kid. Man, you have got to learn to chill. I'm going back inside. You coming? Steady. Here she goes.
We ready yet?
Yeah, so apparently...
This is really fascinating.
I was right.
Yeah, but I have to shake your hand because I didn't expect that. Yeah, Legend and Underworld are canon with these first 6 games. This really is fascinating. Because it says here in 1977, that's when the events of the Tomb Raider Legend, or at least the first part, took place. On the way home from a skiing trip, Laura's plane crashes in the Himalayas. She survived in long extreme conditions for 2 weeks. That was it, the moment where... That was during the time where her mother got sucked into the other dimension.
Yeah. Or in Helheim.
Right, in Helheim, right. 1984, that's when she accompanies Werner von Croy to Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Last revelation.
Yeah.
Help me, Lord, help me.
And then he used the iris, which is a teleportation artifact.
That's right. Later that year, she explores an haunted island off the coast of Ireland.
Yeah, that was fun.
Petrified hot. The following year, May 15th, Richard Croft is missing, and that's when he was killed on Nightlaw. Let's see here.
That also explains why Natla knew to go to Lara.
1990, Laura inherits the mansion and the butler from her great aunt. 95, Lara travels to Rome
personal.
to meet with Larson and Pierre to hand over the Mercury Stone. That was Chronicles.
Wait a minute. Hold on, back up.
1995, Laura travels to Rome, Italy to meet Larson and Pierre Dupont and hand over the Mercury Stone. After she's decided otherwise...
Is this after her events with Natla?
No, later.
Then how the hell is she...
How are they still alive?
Okay, how are they still alive, and how is she okay with being in the presence of Larson, not thinking that this could possibly be a setup?
Yeah.
I'm more believable to the idea that she... I'm more believable to the idea that the whole Rome incident happened long after, because it's believable that they survived here.
It is. Well,
because Nala says earlier in the cutscenes, you left Larson sucking wind then, eh?
In 96, hired by Jacqueline Natla to recover part of the Skion. 97, follows the trail of Marco Bartoli to find the Jagger of Xeon. 98 is searches the meteorite idols. It's 23.
Yeah.
99 travels to Europe in search of the amulet of Horus. Of course, that's the last revelation.
Yeah, she really screwed a pooch on that one, didn't she?
2000 goes missing in Egypt, presumed dead. 2002, Laura and her friend Sarah Bazzini research the disappearance of another couple. That's kind of the that's the crossover.
The Witchblade
Witchblade, yeah. 2003, following call from Von Croy, travels to Paris, where she is framed for his murder. 96, after being tipped off by a friend, she discovers the Stone DS. Now, yeah. So in 2003, that's when the events of Age of Darkness happened. 3 years later, the events of Tomb Raider Legend took place. So sometime in between that time, probably in 2004, 2005, she had that adventure to somehow clear her name. And
I think Curtis Trent helped her out with that because he worked for the church that probably did.
Right.
I think it was the Louverati.
Right. 96, she's tipped off by a friend, discovers Son Diaz. Scene 4, mother disappeared in Nepal, father of James Rutland. Their friend Amanda, Laura, finds the sword fragments. After the events of legend, Laura is curious to know the truth of the Avalon and her mother's disappearance, whether Amanda Everett's speech about Avalon and her mother's transport were real or not. She follows her father's footprints, according to Professor Eddington. In 2009, that's when you have the events of Underworld. So, in 2009, when Underworld took place, Laura was 41 years old.
Okay.
Wow. And then Amanda went back in time and reset the timeline.
And then younger Lara runs into the older Lara.
Mother? I am not our mother.
Our mother died long ago. I was like, excuse me, my older self. We're back.
I am not our mother.
Excuse me, my older self. Have you ever come across a man named Marco Bartoli? Oh, shit.
Old Laura's like, not every day one needs to meet yourself. By the way, since you're here, I want to tell you something. There's a woman in New York named Jacqueline Matla. Something about the ski on.
Okay, my only
that would be great for the sequel.
Don't let her get it.
Someone named Marco Bartoli. Like,
oh shit! Oh, that'd be freaking awesome!
Oh shit!
Excuse me, older Lara, have you come across, like, oh, you know, my youngest self, I'm not presumed to be able to allow you to enlighten you about things of the future. That being said... have you ever come across a man named Marco Bartoli? Oh, shit. Or Jacqueline Natlow. Fuck. Okay. Don't let her get the skill.
By the way, since we're on the subject, you might want to start looking into a secret organization looking to revive
an ancient race of
aliens called Nephilim. Just saying.
Just saying. Oh, and also, if you ever get curious about exploring the tomb of Horus in Egypt, don't. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit I'm the one that fucked that up.
I'll admit, I kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, I'll admit, I'm the one that fucked that one up by taking it in the first place.
All right.
Oh God, that is awesome. We just Star Trek 2 Into Darkness. Like,
yeah,
Tomb Raider 2 Into Darkness.
Tomb Raider 2 Into Darkness, that's funny. I believe in you, Laura.
Yeah, but it is more agreeable that the 2012 one is a reboot, even without them saying, because with the addition of Roth. Because if Roth's there, why the hell did she need Von Gray?
Yeah, but that would be awesome. That would be so cool.
Excuse me, Zach, have you ever met a woman named Jacqueline Matla? Oh, shit. Oh, man. That is hilarious. So yeah, it turns out I was right. Legend, Underworld, and, well, the obvious anniversary are, in fact, canon with the original stories of that which we were playing. Well, what do you know?
I don't know if I should continue on being an adventurer after everything that happened. Maybe I should just be home. And, well, remember, now you can be in 2 places at once.
Now you can be 2 places at once.
That would be so cool. Oh, God, that would be so cool.
Yes. Oh, fuck it if she's 41. I like older women.
And they bring back the original voice actors to play older Laura.
Which one? Oh, the one from 2 and 3? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, so the time of Underworld, she's 41 years old.
I don't mind. Jacqueline and Natla, you just don't know when to die. A trait we both share. Our time is short, so be brief.
Yes! Jacqueline Natla. Bitch. Total bitch. And Marco Bartoli. Asshole.
Let's see. That being said, if you ever come across the Dagger of Zion, be sure to take good care of that.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out what happened.
In your adventures, did you run into a... Yeah, she calls her up on the iPad, or like on Skype.
The futuristic world.
He's like, hi Laura. I'm like, hi Laura. Yeah. Have you run into... In your adventures, did you run into a man named Marco Bartoli? Oh, shit. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, God. Somebody out there, animate this! Make it so! It's gotta happen!
This is your life now. These are your adventures. And I made a promise to you that I would not get involved. That being said...
Oh, shoot, I'm almost fucking dead.
Oh, be careful now. Oh, God. Now we gotta write a story and try to get someone to animate that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's fantastic. Someone uses time travel to go back in time to try to kill Lara Croft.
You know what?
Fails, but ends up resetting the timeline.
You know,
where she runs into Roth.
Yeah, you know what? To hell with it. Screw it being a ripoff of Star Trek 2 Into Darkness. This story needs to be told.
I know, it'd be so great.
This could happen.
Yeah, there could be some plot holes here and there, but hey, we can work it around. Shit,
you like the bullshit she hasn't come up across in these games.
Man, you and I need to start working on the script, man. Hi, Laura. Hi, Laura.
Like, excuse me, oldest up, have you ever run into a man named Dr. Willard? Yeah, he wants you to hunt down the meteorites for him. Yeah, don't give them to him. Because apparently he figured out how they work.
Older Laura, I've run into this charming young fellow who's very, very handsome. He's asked me out on a date. His name is Larson.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
It won't work out, honey.
It won't work out, honey.
In fact, you might want to do yourself a solid and kill him. It'll save you lots of trouble.
Or better yet, I'll kill him. You just go on, I'll take him.
Yeah, just go, I couldn't do it enough. I like how the doors have beating.
That would be interesting. Like, maybe Laura's parents and new Laura are dead, and then, like, older Laura kind of becomes, like, the motherly figure.
I'm freaking down, man.
I just blew my mind.
I am so down. Yeah, now I'm in the part of the game where literally things do get
hectic.
Yeah. See, that boulder would have came down on me had I have not gone onto that staircase down there the right way. Boom. IDOS, Crystal Dynamics,
Square
Enix. If you're watching this, and I know you aren't, but if somebody sends it to them and at gunpoint makes them watch this, make this happen! We will write the script for you! We will make you money! You like money! It will make you lots of money!
The bad guy's Marco Bartoli. My name is Marco Bartoli.
It's like, you ever met a man named Marco Bartoli? Oh, shit! That is so badass. Okay, well, I gotta focus now. One more hit and I'm doomed. Like, look over there quickly and you'll see her. Let's see, there she is.
Oh, right, the doppelganger.
Yeah, Bacon Laura.
Blink, Bacon Laura, blink and you miss her. God. Damn it, we will make this canon. there goes Bacon Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know there's a woman in New York named Jacqueline Natla. Bitch. Working on an evil clone of you. Oh, come on now. That's a little far-fetched. No, I have seen some shit that will turn you like...
Tell me that back in 1983. Back when that happened. Or...
Oh, God, that was freaky.
Yeah. I had to hope that he was right there, otherwise I'd have been screwed.
Mm.
Yeah, because yeah.
What if they did that?
Firepower is going to go into the roof.
Right. The only problem with the timeline is the Rome, Italy incident in Chronicles.
It's not a problem if Rome happened after
this one. I can see that. Although it's a little stretch that Jean-Pierre survived.
How?
Well, wasn't he crushed by the horses?
No.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, crushed by horses aside, a horse falling on you is not fatal.
Yeah, that's the only one problem. I would prefer that they just came up with two completely new characters for that Rome incident.
For the sake of the argument, let's just say that lazy writing and didn't want to remake a brand new set of models, they just kept them in there. It's believable anyway.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
We condemn you, Natla of Atlantis, for your crimes, for the flagrant misuse of your powers, and for robbing us of ours.
You can't,
Breaking the three bond of consent that our people are ruled and secured under, and invading Teopan and myself with our army, our warriors, empty from our pyramid, so that you can use the pyramid, its powers of creation, for your own mindless destruction.
Mindless? Look at you! Neither of you have one squirt of inventive juice in your heads. Wasters.
Let's just do it.
Tehokan!
You use the sacramental place as a source of individual pleasure. As some freak factory.
They're survivalists, a new generation.
A slaughter heap now. And you. We're gonna lock you in limbo. Make your veins, heart, feet, and that diseased brain stick solid with frozen blood. Greet your eternal unrest, Natla!
You won't rest either, or your damned continent in death. Back again.
And you? For a grand reopening, I assume.
Evolution's in a rut. Natural selection at an all-time low. Shipping out fresh meat will incite territorial rages again. Will strengthen and advance us. Even create new breeds.
Kind of evolution on steroids, then.
A kick in the pants. Those runts Qualopec and Tehokan had no idea. The cataclysm of Atlantis struck a race of languoring wimps. Plummeted them to the very basics of survival again. It shouldn't happen like that.
Or like this.
Hatching commences in 15 seconds.
Too late for abortions now.
Not without the heart of the operation.
No!
10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Well, it's too late for abortions now.
Now you're fighting the
apparent new breed, which is supposed to be all the rage in advance. The hell was she thinking? My new breed of generation people.
They don't need legs.
They don't need skin either.
Skin is so last.
Skin is so last Aeon. Who needs legs? They can crawl on their spine. Yeah, because that totally makes sense. What the hell is that?
It's gross.
Is this like one of the deformed babies? See, look, I like how the walls are pulsing.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh god, that was close. Almost jumped right off. Come on. No bullets left, and I got him.
Good job. He's dead. He's dead. Well done.
Yep. Yep. Ew. Ew, 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 ew.
Yeah, I see Laura.
Like, I don't want to touch it. I might catch something.
I'm not gonna face that with my ultimate facing power.
So tell me about this Witchblade thing.
Witchblade is a comic book from Dark Horse Comics about a woman named a police officer named Sarah Pazzini becomes attached with an ancient artifact that, when it's activated, covers her body in armor, and she's a dark superhero.
Okay.
Yes, I'll bring up a picture for you. But yeah, the reason they did a crossover because at the time the Tomb Raider comic books were done by Dark Horse.
Yeah. So what about the Tomb Raider comics? Where are those in the timeline?
I guess they're canon. I guess early 2000s is when they happened. Let's see.
What about the Game Boy Color games?
I think they're mentioned there somewhere. Hang on.
Like when Lara cuts herself on a sword that she has to do like some sort of trial, otherwise her soul is lost. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, guys, this level sucks.
It's the last level.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Yeah, here she is. Sarah Pazzini with the Witchblade.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it's all in there. Working all in there.
I want some of the Tomb Raider comics.
I have a couple. I gave you one, dude. I gave you mine.
I don't think so. Otherwise,
I'm pretty sure I did.
I don't think so. Otherwise, I still would have had them. There's no way I would have lost them. There's no way I would have lost them. I take good care of my stuff.
I know. Keep it all on display.
Yeah. Unlike yours, buried in the closets of God knows where.
Well, at least they're safe. What happened there?
Oh, in Tomb Raider 1, this is a glitch that was so easily figured out and you could fix it. Was on those crackling platforms, if you walk backwards or side to side, she automatically teleports to the bottom. I don't know how they fucked that up, but that's how it happens. And I guess one cool thing about this one that was different from Anniversary is you have to manually shoot the ski on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Anniversary, she did it via cutscene, but here you gotta find it and you just gotta blast it out of there.
Sorry.
I actually like
I like that idea that Werner von Croy is this like hack who sees this potential Lara and kind of takes her under the wing to try to use her.
Well, he is a rich snob.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's cool. Especially since Zip came along. Oh, I like the brothers.
So I don't think race has anything to do with it. Reliability.
She likes the big black men. Sorry.
Yeah, I doubt he's getting any.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing. Oh, be careful. Watch out for the lava blocks.
Don't ask me how it works. It just does.
Yeah. So, Marco Baltoli, asshole.
Yeah.
Keep the frickin' dagger away from him.
Oh, by the way, I should mention now, he's the head of the Japanese mafia.
Yes. You may want to start looking for some meteorite fragments that are around the world.
The Japanese mafia in Tibet.
Just go with it.
I don't know. It's really vague. It's vague where the hell he's from.
So now you're in the home stretch, huh?
Yeah. Boom. Oh, teleport to the bottom. Ew. I like the confrontation in this game with Nala a lot more than Anniversary, only because of one line.
Yeah.
Can somebody help us figure out what the hell she said? You'll hear it. Okay, make sure you got full health and you're packing some heat when you fight her because Nala is a cheating whore. She'll fly above you just like that, out of range, and just spam those fire blasts that drain you dry. Alright, she's down. Alright, no, she's gonna come back up in a second and listen to the line she says. Can somebody tell me what it is, or at least what it means?
You can't bump off me and my brood so easy, Lara.
You can't bump off me and my brood so easy, Lara.
Is that a British thing?
I am guessing so.
You can't bump off me and my brood so easy, Lara. Next time we do a fight night and we fight and you come close to winning, I'm gonna be like, you can't bump off me. So Eugene. Well, guys, that's the
speed run of Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I don't know if it beats record time. And considering that aside from this final one, that I have to manually add in the cutscenes, I don't know if that does anything to the time. But the only way I can say you can accurately judge the time is by taking the game time that they give you at the end of each level and just add that up. So, like, I guess in total it would come to like an hour and 23, 25 minutes.
Works for me. Anyway, good job, Will. That was fun.
So, should I do a speed run of Tomb Raider 4?
Do what you want, it's your channel.
Well, guys, that's Tomb Raider. Hope you enjoy it. Sure we did. You know we did. Later.